Good day to all. We are now in day 2. Day 2 from our discussion. We begin with day 1 to level up spirituality. We give the pattern and we call it a simple pattern. But in day 2 now, in day 2, we talk about social economic. Now, when we say social economic, it involves money. Now we talk about how or what is the process or the mechanics of painting our money, printing our money. So we have now here day 2, social economic, and if we say money, it involves corruption. And we have here sabotage, we have LOI, letter of instruction, versus FOI, freedom of information. So from here, if we see the circle, you have here the gold and the central bank. Now, in order to print the money for every nation, it should be backed by gold. Okay? So, before the corrupt officials around the world printing the money, before they are going to print the money, they will propose a project. Then, here projects. They will propose a project, and from that project, they make a budget. Then, when we see budget, let's say, and mostly they will budget for a year, so they will call it fiscal year. Then, if we say budget, of course, we need money. So again, from central bank, it has a gold reserve here. Before they are going to print the money, the politician, before they are going to print the money, they will first make a budget or make a project, propose project. Then with budget, then of course they need the money. So how much money they needed, that's the time they will print the money backed by gold. So this is global. This is global treaty. So let me say this pattern is globally accepted and put in sign by all countries and all presidents around the world. So by then, this budget will be put on a ledger, then all the signatories, all the leaders around the world see the budget for every nation so that they will approve the budget. So not only our Congress, our senators, our president can print directly the money without the consent of all other nations who are also signatories of the treaty of the pattern of the central bank printing the money which is gold back. So after that, then they are going to print the money. So this is simple pattern only so that civilians know the sequence or the process. Simple pattern only. Then we have here sabotage, we have here LOI. Why do I say sabotage? Because almost all the officials, the politicians are all corrupt. Yes. Why? What we see, every president we voted, every officials we voted, we always see a corruption from the budget. Okay. Now, what is LOI? This LOI is letter of instruction. So this letter of instruction is secretly given to all involved of the budgetary projects. This is also used by the sole signatory of the gold reserve from central bank. They cannot print the money without the signature of all the signatory. So it can use by sole signatory and key signatory. So not only sole signatory but also key signatory. So the key signatory, it can be more than one, it can be 20, it can be 30. It depends upon the treaty who's involved of the central bank and who's involved in the project, budget projects. So now we have politicians. Politicians make or propose a project, then with budget, then print the money. remember, almost all politicians are corrupt. Almost all. If not all, almost all. Okay? So, by the time they print the money from the gold back, from the central bank, these politicians will say will say will say that we are in debt. We are in debt from the central bank because we print the money for our budget, for our projects. Then they will call it a debt or a loan. So a debt or a loan. Okay. Now, the problem is this gold back own this gold reserve owned by the people. Owned by the people. Not owned by the central bank. Not owned by the president. Not owned by the kings. Not owned by anything. Anybody. It is owned by the people. But what the politicians make, what the politician what the politician make and say that this is a debt, this is loan, this is utang. And that is why this is sabotage, LOI, letter of instruction, versus FOI, freedom of information. The freedom of information from the Constitution is oppressed. Is oppressed because this gold owned by the people take over by the state. They will say now that all gold, especially in the Philippines, all gold is owned by the state. So that every gold you found anywhere, even in the forest, is owned by the state. This is the scenario that most ordinary people do not understand. And by the time they print the money, they will, the politicians, this one, the politicians impose a higher taxes. So every year, tax go high and high and high until it reaches 200 years. Then the inflation cannot be solved anymore, because the inflation, it will not go down. It will go up and up and up and up. And for after 100 years, the people will suffer. People will suffer. Suffer from, of course, money. And if we say money, it involves foods and everything. So these politicians, they form now a gangster inside our government. They are now the legal gangsters. They are now the legal syndicate. They are syndicates. We vote for them to govern the people, to govern us. We vote for them to rule us and to suck our wealth and our blood. Okay? So the people will suffer, and the people are forever slaves. So people are forever slaves. That is the scenario of all the people in the planet. So this FOI was and is oppressed. We don't have freedom of information. What is and how is gold in the central bank? So the central bank managed by World Economic Forum. And the World Economic Forum, there is one leader here. And the one leader is the one of the rich man of the world. And you know what he is? He is, you know what is the leader of the World Economic Forum? You know. So this is only a simple pattern of our social economic system. Social economic system was and is sabotaged, was hijacked. Until now, people will always and forever be as slaves. So from here, from the central bank, as we know it, as our money before printing is backed by gold, from here, the money they print the money they are printing, mostly it will go to the pocket of the politicians, mostly, if not all, but maybe it's always be more than 50% will go to the pocket of the politician, and the politician will raise the taxes. They will compute how much taxes they impose to recover the gold back. Okay. But the problem also is if the politicians or even the president will take all 80% the money from the print money, and they are only using 20% for the budget, because we don't have an FOI, freedom of information, of how much money old gold back they use to print the money versus the budget. It should be equivalent. If not equivalent, it will not go far beyond. For example, we have a budget of 100 million and they will print 200 million. So that is why corruption is always attached to the politicians, because we don't have freedom of information. They are only using LOI, letter of instruction, for themselves to keep it secret. So now this is our day 2. We talk about the social economic system in our planet. Thank you.